She has started running marathons in her 50s, and after 20 years, she still continues to run and ace podiums. Has her fingers in many pies. She is an MA in English literature and many more. A high school teacher and a lecturer, IELTS trainer, certified yoga trainer, and a Reiki master. She's got an award from Shripana Mukherjee at national level for her writing, award from NCRT for research paper on the English teaching, Best Teachers Award from central government, participant of group who broke 6 records for yogasanas with Akshay Yoga and get into Guinness World Records. A passionate runner, she's represented the country in athletics via Murphy in Sacramento, USA. Recognized by Indian Army, only Army officers wives to have run more than 100 competitive 10Ks, 50 plus half marathons in India and abroad, and so much more. Participant of Guinness Book of World Records again for the most runners in Satara Hill Marathon, where she also stood first in her age category. She is also part of a documentary called Limitless, 1 out of 8 runners across India to share their running journey. Watch it on Netflix now. Do watch her graceful hand movement as she is a classical dancer and a veena player and loves cooking, music, and gardening. She's been a caregiver to her parents, yet managed to balance household, make time for family and for herself. To be able to enjoy her numerous passion and hobbies, she feels that there is only one life. Let's enjoy every moment of it and do more. This is too short an introduction to cover all her accomplishments. Let's welcome Sharada Venkataraman, Sharada Ma'am as we call her. Let's hear from her. Thank you so much, Sharada Ma'am, for joining us. And since I know you as a runner first, let me ask you, how did it all started at that age? Were you already having the inspiration from childhood that you want to be a runner?
Well, I started running in the year 2006. And that was when I had gone with my husband to US, in fact, to Vermont, where my son was doing his PhD. He was a marathon runner. And he used to go to his university to do his research work and all that. One day he came home and said, Mom, you have no work to do. You're just sitting at home doing nothing. Come on, let me train you and Dad for a running marathon in Vermont. It's another 3 months away. So I was kind of shocked. And I said, I don't know anything about running. You take your dad for running. He is the ghoda in the family. He's been running in his college days. And when he was, in the army and all that, he would run with his men also. I am okay with my, my reading and my writing and my music and my dance and other things. I didn't want to get into running because I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to do it. But my son kept pestering me, and within a few days, I should say, I started rethinking and telling myself, why don't you try it out? And that's how it all started.
Yeah.
Yes. And so he actually trained us by taking into account what we ate, what we wore, and the practice runs that we had to do. And every day he'd take a feedback from us as to what we had done, right up to the timing and everything. And within 3 months, we were trained for the Vermont Half Marathon. Both of us participated. And
Wow.
Yeah. And surprisingly,
So he was your first coach then, right?
yes, surprisingly, we completed the first half marathon in a very good time. I've never been able to replicate that. So that's how I got into running. Yeah.
You have to go back to your coach then.
That was holiday time, so I could do enough of training and overcome a lot of fears. But after that, it's like a bug had bitten me and I didn't want to stop running. And so I continued to run after I came back to India.
But ma'am, were you a sports person from childhood?
I was only into table tennis where I represented my state. I was an MP, so I represented MP state. I was MP #1. And of course, not into any other sports other than a lot of playing outside, like children play. And yes, I was into classical dance. So physically, I was very strong and very fit because you know how classical dance is. It really makes you so fatigued and so tired after the practice sessions. I was giving a lot of performances also then. And so I guess it was just a step from this level to the other level to higher levels. Yeah.
Wow. And do you remember how many 10Ks and half
Yes.
marathons
Uh,
and full marathons you've
yeah,
run?
not the exact number, but I can give you an approximate number. Up until now, I'd have run about 150 odd competitive 10Ks, competitive,
Oh,
recognized 10Ks, where you have a timing chip and a big
yes.
extra, not the practice 10K runs. And regarding my half marathons, 50 plus at least half marathons. Not only
Ooh,
not only in Bangalore, but in many states in India, as well as in Singapore, in Malaysia, in US,
right.
Canada, etc. Whenever we go for a holiday, I always look out for some event I can participate in. That's how badly I was bitten by the bug of running.
Wow. Wow. How was your childhood, ma'am? Were you in aspirational and I mean, what you wanted to be in your life then?
Yeah, when in my growing up years, uh, like we all are so carefree, we have many ambitions. I wanted to become a singer, a dancer, but I was also fortunately very good in studies. This, I think, is not only genetics, but because of my father's involvement in my excellence, in my performance in academics. So in those days, it was only music and classical dance and studies. You are not supposed to, as a girl or as a growing up teenager, go for any sports like running, which is supposed to be a man's sport or a guy's sport, except for table tennis, which I took on to when I was a teenager, and I really did well. But my dad didn't let me go for the nationals, which was in Delhi, because the teacher who was to accompany me and some other candidates was a male teacher. So I was very good in biology. I was good in studies, but specifically in English and biology. So I wanted to actually become a doctor because my dad wanted me to become a doctor. And in fact, I
Mm-hmm.
gave the open entrance exam for All India entrance exam for MBBS, and I was fifth in the All India merit list. I was selected
Oh,
for Maulana Azad Medical College in Delhi. But well, that story is a different story. I did go and I came running back after 2, 3 months because one, I missed my dad a lot. I'd never stayed away from my parents.
oh,
I was my dad's, pet daughter. And secondly, the sight of those mutilated dead bodies, which we had to do,
yeah.
dissect, it was too much for me to take. I was just about 17 years old. I'd already done BSc second year. And that is when I gave this entrance exam. So,
I also heard when I was talking to you that you were a voracious reader. Has it
yeah,
come from childhood?
yeah,
Okay.
this is a very nice question. And I just like to tell you a little bit about how I got into so much of reading. One, I think those days when I was growing up, we didn't have all these other distractions, like TV. We didn't have a TV at all at home. So, no TV and, no movies. We were not allowed to go for movies. That's how my parents brought me up. So, my dad was a voracious reader. So he would always get me a lot of books to read. And he would get me when I was very young, he would get me the short versions of Charles Dickens, Shakespeare's plays, and so many of our mythological stories and all that. He'd recite the Ramayana to me, tell me the stories from Ramayana and Mahabharata and all that. So my interest in all of this started growing right from childhood. And he'd always say that if you come out first in the class, the monthly test, the reward would be good books to read, never something like
Wow.
chocolates or some other things. And we never got anything free in our growing up years, me and my sisters. You had to work for it. And the reward would be books. And he had already put into me the love for reading. So that came from my dad. Plus, I studied throughout in a convent, St. Joseph's Convent. Those days, convents didn't have big libraries, but every classroom would have a huge cupboard, and that was called the library. It would have lots of books for us to read from good authors, age related, so that we could understand it. Every week, we'd have one
Right.
library period. So, this was also
Right.
reading habit was also inculcated in me by the school where I studied in, the convent where I studied in, and I'm very thankful to my teachers and in the convent where they encouraged us to read more. We never read comics. You won't believe it. We were not allowed to read comics because our English would get spoiled. And that passion still remains, though I regret the fact that I'm not able to give too much of time to reading. And now, since the mobile has come, we read something on the mobile itself. See this, the feel of paper when you look at the words in a printed words in a book, that's a very different experience. It's a beautiful experience, and I would love to get back to that.
And I know how it feels when you have a book and the smell of the pages.
That's what, it's so beautiful. And then, you're sitting in a place where nobody's going to disturb you. You're lost in a different world altogether. Yeah, recently I'm reading one by Robin Cook. These are medical thrillers, and I read different kinds of books. I used to read a lot of different kinds of books. So, there's an age for that kind of liking. I have read mushy romantic novels also by Barbara Cartland and, writers from those times. And there's so many other writers. That was one phase. And then I got into reading even Westerns. Then, there's Arthur Haley, who writes beautifully. He's written books like Hotel and Airport and all that. They're not recent authors, but beautiful books. And then some writers, because of who my English, sometimes, people ask me, how do you write Old English also? Two authors I remember. One is Georgette Hare, and whose English was beautiful. Now I'm not able to get a book written by her. I also read books with a lot of humor, like Bernard Shaw and all that. So his humor is very different. And the stories written by plays and stories written by Shakespeare, they're beautiful. And I also love poetry because that love came from school.
We talked about your running journey. We also talked about your love for English. You went to the medical school and came back, etc. You are a good reader. You have been a good reader. And then, but I also know you were a teacher, English teacher, right? Some point in your life. But then you are much more than that. I want to ask, how do you define yourself?
Well, I would say that I'm a person who wears many hats. It's not like I'm trying to boast, but I've been into a lot of things. Like when I was a Kendriya Vidyalaya teacher. Here, then I became lecturer in one of the colleges in Kamanhalli area. And of course, now I'm only teaching IELTS. I'm a trained IELTS trainer, trained by British Council. So apart from that, I also did my MA in English and postgraduate courses in English. Like I'm an MA, MEd, MPhil, PGCT, PGDT. All that is to do with English, and also what is MEd. Also, wherever I got science subjects to teach, they also tell me to teach English. Yeah, and apart from that, I have a certificate in teaching yoga from the Yoga University here, Jigni. We have this Vyasa. So I am a certified yoga teacher. Apart from that, I've also done BKS Iyengar's yoga in Pune. And I've learned from yoga from 2-3 gurus. Earlier, I used to take classes for yoga and charge for them. But since about 10-15 years, it is free yoga that I'm taking. And for the people in Sena Vihar, where I stay, anybody who wants can join. 2 days a week, I just conduct yoga classes so that they can stretch themselves a little bit, and some pranayama, some Surya Namaskar, etc., etc. Plus, I'm a Reiki master. I've done all the levels of Reiki, Reiki 1, it's in like different levels. So one factor of giving back to the world, giving back to society. So I feel that we've been so fortunate, all of us, we've been so fortunate to get so many things in life, which we should not take for granted. So it is time for us to give back whatever little bit we can to society in whatever form we can. So anybody who's in pain, I'd like to go and help them by giving them some Reiki. We don't replace doctors, but we just help the healing process. But they told me, remember this principle. So if you're not going to take money for what you are trying to give them, then do something by which they give back to society or to you. So that's the only principle that I follow. And it works for people who have belief and faith in Reiki. Anyway, so I try to give back like that. In whatever way I can help, I try to help. Sometimes, free teaching to somebody who can't afford money, and, donation of so many things, either money or clothes or whatever it is. So I think
Yeah.
we all have one life, we should do more and show our gratitude in different ways.
You've touched upon a very nice point, ma'am, giving back to the society. And when I was talking to you, you also talked about the elderly care. You always were very close to your parents, as you talked that, you came back for your father, etc. Uh, I also want to touch upon a little bit about the elderly care as well.
I'm glad you asked me this question because it's really important. I've been taking care of my mother as well as my mother-in-law. I had been taking care of them because my mother passed away last July. And well, let me tell you, it's not easy because they are like children. They don't want material things, but what they want is what is so difficult to give nowadays, your time. So they want your time, a little bit of love, affection, respect, and also the feeling that they are being looked after, that security. I should say, so I am blessed to have had that chance to do whatever I could for my mother. Now that she's not there, sometimes I think I wish I had done more. I wish, I could have fulfilled all her desires. It happens with everyone. But I am grateful for the time I could spend with her. And my mother-in-law, of course, a couple of years ago, she wanted to move to a place, Nana Nani, where they take care of the elderly because she has her brother staying there and another sister staying there. And she was very happy because she has a 24/7 caretaker. Everything is supplied to her there. And she went for a week and she likes it very much. We've been calling her, come and stay with us, but she says, I'm happy here. All these years, you people have been taking care of me. A few years ago, she and my mother would come at the same time because they are great friends and they used to get along very well.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you how much of, pleasure I had taking care of them, though it was not easy because they have to be given their medicines on time. They can't eat certain kinds of food. They want everything, but you have to, treat them like small babies. A lot of things are there. And during the final year, when my mom was there, she did not want anybody to take care of her. She was very diaper dependent, sensitive. They're very sensitive about this. And she'll say, you don't have to do this. I know what to do and things like that. I take everything in my stride. Just be calm. And I would be washing every day. But that's okay. That's fine. She's my mom. Imagine how much our parents would have done for us when we were young. So,
Yeah, and for many years, right?
for many, many years, we owe everything to them. What we do is not even a drop in the ocean, right? And I would like to add that today, if we don't do our utmost for our parents, tomorrow our children will throw us on the streets because life is a cycle. Whatever you do, it comes back to you. So I feel we should give our heart and soul and all our love to taking care of our elderly, to taking care of our parents, be it your mother-in-law, your mother, whoever. Mother-in-law is also mother. So it's a tough call because nowadays everybody is working. It's very difficult. You put a caretaker. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. And added to that, I wanted to just put in something else. And this is a very controversial subject, of course. There are people who put their parents in old age homes. No blame accorded to them because they mean the best. But I have met some people and they have told me that whatever is given to them in the form of material comfort, they miss their children. They miss their children's proximity, their touch, their talk, their voice, because material things cannot take the place of the actual person, right? Do it when they are there, make them feel wanted, love them, care for them, make them feel precious. But even for children, I bring them also into the picture because today's children also have everything, modern gadgets. You put them for swimming, for cycling, for this, for that, so many competitive activities. But whole day you are away at work. Not to blame the parents who are working, but the children grow up without having much of the parents' time. Not all the children, but many of the children, they want their parents to be with them, to play with them, to talk to them, especially during their growing up years when they are being molded and they have to absorb the virtues and values from their parents. Time enough to get to know what books the children are reading, what is their company they're keeping, what kind of programs or shows they're seeing on their mobiles, and then you blame the children for getting into the wrong company.
Right.
Give your children the
Coming
time.
back to coming back to your story, right? You talked about your lot of journeys here, taking care of parents as well, and giving back to the society as well. All these wouldn't have been possible if we do not talk about your husband, right? So it's a special mention. I think the way
No, it
you
is a
have.
special mention, and I'm very, very happy you brought that up, Janvi. I might have forgotten about it, in the podcast, but he has been such a supportive factor in my life, such a supportive person, even taking care of my mom. And my husband has always been so very supportive, doing everything to help me out with taking care of my mother. I'd be doing the caretaking, but who is helping me out in whatever way he can? My husband. He is the anchor. Okay, not only my husband, one of my sons, my eldest son is in Canada now. He has been very supportive, but especially my younger son who is with us here. He has been such a pillar, such a rock. Anything for Ajji. In every way, he has been a pillar. He has been a rock, very supportive. So whether it is for taking care of the elderly, taking care of my mom, or anything at all in the house, these people have been my greatest support. Today that I continue to run is because my husband and my son here, they are so very, encouraging, so very supportive of what I'm doing. They do everything for me. When I have a run in Mumbai for the Tata Mumbai Marathon, I have to go out. My son holds fort here to take care of Ajji. Without these two people, I wouldn't be able to do all the things that I'm doing today. They keep me
I
energetic,
agree.
motivated, inspired. And I think if you have a motivating family, supportive family, any lady can do anything.
Back to you. What is that secret we always find you energetic? Is there never low with you?
See, one is I'm happy to have a very supportive family that keeps me energized all the time. That positivity within you never dims. It's always on the rise because I feel that these people are there to hold my back. They are there to support me. The
Support system.
other thing is
Yeah.
I'm very self motivated. चाहे कुछ भी हो, I'll tell myself, you can do it. It's not impossible. You have to just feel that I can never give up support. Right?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I'm very particular about what I eat. Generally. This doesn't mean that I don't eat pizza or cakes or sweets or anything. No, I do eat everything, but I'm very conscious of what I'm eating. I try to be conscious of what I'm eating so that अगर ज्यादा खा लिया आज तो कल को scale down कर दूंगी. If I've eaten too much in a particular meal, the next meal I will scale it down.
Okay.
कई बार गलतियां भी होती हैं, but I try to keep that in mind. And I never miss my breakfast. Like I tell my yoga students, eat breakfast like a king. It's an old saying. Okay, have lunch with your family or with friends, and eat dinner like a pauper. According to our metabolic, level, how much we can digest, how well we can digest, according to our age, according to the kind of day we lead, very active, I've run a lot, then I need to have my protein, I need to have some carbs, I need to have some fat. Keeping all that in mind, we must have a proper breakfast, a proper lunch, and not skip meals. And dinner, it's up to you. Like generally, I try not to eat anything after 4 p.m. in the evening. Generally. That doesn't make me feel hungry in the middle of the night or anything. Uh, I try to finish off by 4, at times 5 p.m. अगर कोई शादी वादी पे गए तो खाना पड़ता है, that's a different thing. Other than that, I try to not eat anything heavy in the evenings. Just give a window of say 12 to 14 hours between your last meal and today and the first meal tomorrow. Make it a habit. So your
Eating right.
have it once in a while. So I keep myself energized by trying to eat right, by trying to have enough sleep, and also connecting with friends, running group mein, yoga group mein, connecting with family. So that energizes with you. Stay in the company of happy people, positive-minded people. That energizes you.
You summarized it so well, ma'am. What are today's women making mistakes? What do you advise them?
Well, today's women, if you talk of them in general, they have everything. If you think of the position they have, or the money they are earning, or the perks they're getting, or the foreign trips that they can make, and all that is very good. Good for them. 2 thumbs up for that. But I think, like I mentioned before, what they probably miss out in that, if you talk of children, is their being there with them while they are growing up.
Giving time.
I feel they have to find a way to make more time for their loved ones, more time for their children, and not try to compensate that time they should give their children with material gifts and holidays abroad, etc., etc. This is no blame on them. This is just that we have to find a solution to this. Yes, those values and virtues you cannot teach them after they've become 16 and 18. But just see that you spend quality time with them, with your loved ones, with your parents, with your children, etc. That's one. You cannot buy time from any shop. And that's so important. And yes, you must look after yourself very well, because women, because unless they are healthy at all levels, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, whatever, all the levels, they have to be healthy and strong. You cannot keep your family healthy. You have to be what you want your children to be. Show that discipline.
Yeah, they say, right? If Amma or mom can do it, then anybody in the house can do it.
Focus, discipline, perseverance, not giving up attitude. If you have a fall, world has not ended. Rise up, walk again. You can win. See, because tough times don't last, but tough people do. And you can handle it. तो उसको अंदर से जगाना है कि मैं ये कर सकती हूँ. ये मेरे से होगा. This is not the end of the world. So that kind of a feeling you should inculcate in your children also by being that example. They take you as a role model in their growing up years.
Any thing you're looking forward to, ma'am? What's your goal going forward?
Life is a book of volumes 3. The past, the present, and the yet to be. Okay? The past is gone and done away with. The present we see day by day, and the future is hidden from sight because God holds the key. So I don't have any major ambitions as such. I just want to be healthy at all levels so that I'm able to look after my family, my relatives, do whatever little I can for society, whatever little bit. Because whatever we do can never be equal to what society has given us or God has given us. And I don't want to be a burden to anybody. Remain mobile and healthy. Keep running, keep moving. I'd like to motivate more women to taking to being very physically active also in terms of something to do. Like you don't have to run. You can go for a walk, short walk. You're very busy. Doesn't matter. Make that 15 minutes time every day if you're very busy. Since an office में treadmill होगा, gym होगा, take out little bit of time treadmill karo, kuch bhi karo, or get a treadmill at home. Good investment if you cannot go to a gym. You don't have time to go to the gym. Or weekends, khali hai to weekends jao gym and do something on the treadmill or do some strength exercises. Very important for women to do some strength training also. That is important, which I neglected and I am starting now. So age is just a number. You can do it. Start with light. Start with chota things that you can do. So keep yourself strong at all levels. You will be able to keep your family happy and healthy. Be a happy person. Spread that happiness around. That's what. So my future goals, I don't know what the future has in it for me. It's all hidden, all a surprise. But yes, I'd love to keep running. So next run is TCS 10K, end of April. And we'll see
Yes.
what happens after that. Some runs will be coming.
My goodness.
Yeah, keep training.
Ma'am, talking to you, I take only maybe couple of statements that there is no age for learning or no age for new beginning. And
Yes.
you inspire all of us.
I've always been fond of music because classical dance involved music also. Because many of the dance pieces are based on music. And I used to play the veena. So later I stopped all that because I was into so many other activities. So just a year or so ago, I started learning music online. And I just love it because it takes me into a different zone altogether. I get connected with my past wonderful years with dance and music, and I enjoy the whole thing. Like you mentioned, what I always say, age is just a number. You can learn anything at any time, provided you have a good guide, and nothing is impossible. And being active, not only physically, but mentally, because the neurons keep dying as we grow older. If you want the neurons to keep firing, take a new hobby. You've never done this before, doesn't matter. Koshish karo. Kya hoga? Worst comes to the worst. It'll take a longer time to learn it. So take up a new hobby. So mentally, hum log ko alive rehna hai so that we can function better till we are there. Right? Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think, listening to you, there are a lot of women, even men too, will get inspired and they will start doing something to make their life active, whether it's a physical or, mental or anything.
This is just to say that you can continue with your passion. My passion is not only reading, but also writing. So just keep that passion alive so that, आप लिखते हो आपको खुशी होती है जो पढ़ता है उसको भी खुशी होती है. So anything,
Definitely.
yes, anything that you'd like to try out, please try it out. And don't think that मैं नहीं कर सकती हूँ, नहीं कर सकता हूँ. It is possible. You can do anything provided you feel that I can. And you can. All of you can.
And unless you try, you don't even know where
Yes,
that
you
will
don't
lead to,
know.
right?
All of us have so many hidden potentials within us, but we don't let them come alive because we don't want to experiment with ourselves. So that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
We need to find out, dig out that potential within us and let it come out so that you are happy, others are happy.
Sure.
So thank you,
Thank
Jan.
you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Not
Not
at all.
only talking to us, believing in us, and also taking us through your life journey so that we know you a little better than what we were. And thank you. And thank you for coming again. Bye.
Not at all. Bye.
I had so much fun talking to Sharada ma'am. I have seen her train for marathons, energized for fitness and running personally. Also, she inspires me to go and follow my dreams and try different things. There is so much to do, so much to accomplish, and that's what I'm trying to new things in her chronicles. Do you have a story you want to bring out? Do leave a message on this video. Let us know what you feel. What's your thought? Any inputs for us? We wait to hear from you. Thank you.